Hey, sports fans. How's everybody doing? It's Thursday. Made a whopping $60 on my options today. SPY and Nvidia. Made about 200, but I lost about 130. I'm learning. Got to be quick. Got to be on top. I hesitate for a sec because I'm, things about to those that are down now or whatever. I was on probation and learn a whole bunch of dysfunctional family disease, whatever. Learn. There's a whole bunch of shit. When you're young, man, you're out there bouncing around. You ain't got to learn shit. You learn if you got a $20 bill and you go to the bar. There's a good looking babe. You say, babe, can I buy you a drink? Whatever. Probably get laid. But back in the old days, yeah, it was spelling bee champ of Alta Vista back, I think, 1959. Yeah, my mother at 4 o'clock in the morning, she got a pamphlet from Washington, D.C. with, I'm going to say, a good 1,000 words that you never heard of. They used that in the national championships in D.C. I even beat out this black girl, Sandra Ward, who ended up doing well in high school and kind of snubbed me 6 years later. But I look back and I'm understanding now. I started drinking with the Beatles and the Stones and getting laid and Juarez and motherfucker on the back of my guitar. We're playing in the school cafeteria. I flip it over. Some people like that shit. It's like they don't give a damn. I paid my dues. Austin High School had the Stragglers. They played out East Montana. That was bad shit back then. I think it was $1 to go in. Like Sunday, took my mom's car, but the music, the amplifier, they were, I'm not going to say bad motherfuckers, but they was, I think one or two, they had clubs back there, the white boy clubs or whatever. You really don't want to fuck with them, And I've been a loner for a long time, so my buddy was from England. I think he had a stepfather or something. We started learning cars, and I was looking at Trish Reagan with that Lamarca, that big fat light skinned mulatto senator, congressman from Jersey or something. When she went to the federal detention camp, it's got a sign in there, keep out. So it shows that little 10-second clip. She's pushing a motherfucker, throws a couple of, she got a red jacket on, throws a couple of punches. I mean, it's probably like that or something, but you cannot. Well, they're blocking me. I'm a U.S. congressman. I can show up and walk in whenever I want to inspect it. There's a procedure. You got to let them know you're coming. Maybe they'll clean up a little bit or something. But you can't do that kind of behavior. I've tried. I'm walking in like I own the place. And the motherfuckers will stop you too. Will press charges. My English friend in high school, his girlfriend from this other high school, she says this guy lived behind her. Just fucking with her with something, or kidding her because she had a boyfriend, some shit. She was pretty nice, she was damn nice. Lived on the army base at Fort Bliss. Well, Mike gets all huffy and puffy. He's from England. Come over. I went with him. I had mom's car with something. He wanted to see his girlfriend. We went over. She says, "Hey, the guy behind me, I forget his name, fucking Dave or some shit. Well, he said something to me on a school bus or some shit." My fucking walks the fuck over. Which house is it? Right directly behind me. Walks over there. I followed the motherfucker because that's my buddy, right? The screen door is open. I guess they didn't have air conditioning. The door's open, the screen door's closed. He grabs the screen door, it's open. People didn't used to lock their doors back in the 50s and 60s. And walks right in. The guy comes out, here's so you Dave with somebody goes out there, pounds him. He hit him about 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times. We got in a fight, you'll get over it. He hit me a couple of times, I followed the guy into the guy went into his bedroom or something. I think he had a brother. So I go over there like, don't start no shit because there's two of us. We're going to a dance at the Pavilion or Pavilion, however you want to say it, the Friday night. That was 2 or 3 days later. And I see this band. So me and Mike come walking up. Provost Marshal out of nowhere. How the fuck he know we're going to be there? Comes out of nowhere. Hey, can I speak to you two guys? Blah, blah, blah. I think he took us to the provost marshal or to the office. Next thing I know, well, I'm going to the federal building downtown El Paso with charge the word conspiracy that Diane, Mike, and me had conspired to assault this motherfucker. You know. Now, I didn't know enough to speak up for myself. I think it was an informal hearing or something. Anyhow, they gave us a year probation. I got to report once a month. Howdy doody, how you doing? We already started drinking back then, so 14. My friend from church, we're playing. He says, hey, there's a guy over here that's got a nice Fender amplifier. Nobody's ever there. It's in his garage. Like I say, El Paso, they used to, his dad was a prisoner of war, I think from Korea or some shit. Nice guy. He was 6 months older than us. He had just gotten laid, so he was the man, We couldn't sing worth of shit. We're playing harmony and shit. He's, anyhow, a good guy. He's a preacher now. I went to Africa. Well, we need preachers over here, man. Once you come back to El Paso, you don't want to talk to me. Remember the band we had? Yeah. I see his daughter made a comment. I was going to say, hey, ask Ralph if about that time he went to Juarez. He lost his cherry. Don't try to be something and not. I says, I don't do that. That's called discretion. I had a guy, let's say that's a long time ago we were kids. It don't matter. Either way, she got to grow up too at some point. That's not perfect, That's what I'm saying about Trump. Unless you got some child porn to show me where Trump is or Clinton or any of them, they got 1,000 girls that say they got abused. I wonder, 1 or 2, 3, 4 came out about a month or two ago. They said, yeah, I was with Epstein when I was 14 or 15 out of 35, 40 years old, and they went on with their life. This is, went on with my life. That's it. I think we've all been raped one way or the other, and had to do shit we didn't want to do. It's traumatic, so go to a therapist or a shrink for, oh my God, a year or two. Go to AA meetings or something. They got AA, Al-Anon, recovery, to post it every time, 3 times a week. I see it on YouTube. That already, I guess she got raped. She's from Philly now. She's a defender. That was back in the 70s in New York. It was, I guess, 2, 3, $20 million from being that lawyer for the connection was bad in the afternoon about this time. I guess everybody and the brother after work gets on. Anyhow, so that brings us to the data center in El Paso. It says half of them in the United States are shutting them down or canceling them. The people don't want, you have to do environmental impact They didn't do that. It looked like a government conspiracy. There's already 3 or 4 thousand in the United States. And this black mayor we got in El Paso comes out with somebody posted I think it was the mayor, a legal document. Uh, we've already made the contract. There's no getting out of it. It's a good thing. Go back, go take a nap, like you're a 5-year-old kid or something. Well, hold it, motherfucker. A bunch of people are commenting on for the last week that I've seen. When was this? Was this ever put in front of the people of El Paso? I was out driving a truck with Biden. I was stuck out in the truck for 3 fucking years trying to survive. I finally retired. I give a, but it says they're putting the data centers where there's drought restrictions. They want to kill us all by dying of thirst or whatever. Millions involved. The lawyers, the contracts. It'll cost more to get lawyers. It'll cost the taxpayers. Now it's going to cost us if we say anything. You haven't done a legal. You started this, but I do shit like that, so I know. You didn't come straight out and say, this is what we propose to do. We want to get the citizens, the homeowners' opinion. Do they want this or not? Kick it around a little bit. This is what we plan to do. Is that okay with you? What would you like to see done or whatever? Going to bring income jobs, limited jobs. My suggestion is, because it gets involved in time consuming and shit. I'm not a lawyer. The city council, my car's not running. I'm not going to put a suit on and go down. Fucking up. I'm too old for this shit. I looked at Pecos, Texas. We dug a well 150 feet to get water. There's 3 rivers under there. The third river, or like aquifer, is 250 feet. That's filtered water. Probably drink it straight out of the ground. The other one, you got to put some filters. There's like 6 different, I forget, salt, and Pecos River's got salt in it, whatever. You got to filter it. Reverse osmosis, the low people, that's for the other one. Madera Valley water. I don't know. I'm thinking they go 250 feet down, 300 feet down, and pump the water to you and charge you. That's what I'm thinking. I went to one meeting. This is not much pressure. We want to expand our pipelines out to 4 miles outside of Pecos. They don't say a word about, they're going to start fracking. That was 30 years ago. I bet you they knew about it back then. My mother got a box that you want to keep this at your house? It was in the garage. I'm trying to make room. And I sure, Mom, I look at it, it's 20 years ago. There's some government papers. I don't know where the fuck she got it at. Just look at the top sheet. It says the government, this is 1930s, 1938, that there will be by the Black Sea, the Middle East, they're going to find an abundance of oil. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, they don't tell you all that shit on the news. So I've seen the 700 Club. Oh, fuck. 1980 was pretty near 50 years ago. 85, 45, 50 years ago. Said they found by the Black Sea, the Middle East, right there by Russia, right over, at the bottom of Russia, the Black Sea. They've discovered. They discovered that a long time ago. But it says, there's probably going to be a worldwide conflict, or World War III or some shit. That's about right. That's all I've heard. I just happened to. What the fuck, so. I think the internet, it's a double-edged sword. It's good in a lot of ways, but you're up to date with everything, but then you see how corrupt and stupid the fucking world is. So I'm trying to digest all this information and like to educate myself. I'm not doing nothing. I'm 77 in August. My family died. My son died. My ex is you're gonna have, and my sister and nephew don't want to talk. Okay, that's fine. You know what? I read my Bible in the morning. Talk to God a little bit. Like same way with a truck. I was 16 years out. My son died. I was 14 and a half years. Usually stop every day and talk to somebody for a minute. Just I'm going to get a coffee. How you doing this morning? Pretty good. No use complaining. So I use this kind of to vent. Fucking nose, man. Smoke and then excuse me. So I guess it hailed on the west side of El Paso and Bottle got flooded a little bit, and it looks like it's going to rain. I still my roof's leaking again about 4 o'clock in the morning. It's windy about 50 miles an hour. Just windy as hell, and then it quit. So anyhow, it rained for about an hour over here on Central Light Point. So I don't know. I don't have all the answers. The AA says identify and label your problems and then try to come out with a solution. This is life. So that's all, you know, I try to do. I learned MIG welding a little bit, got all the parts, look at YouTube. The guy's got a laser of some sort, and then he's got two of them. He wants it stronger, like South American or Latino or something. I'm watching them. Sometimes they don't talk, they just put it together and they go, no, not this. Whatever. I'm watching the shit. Creates a light beam with the computer, little tiny circuit board, and got a name to it, this and that and the other, and put it together. He's trying to burn a block of wood or something. It's making a little. We did that when we were kids with a magnifying glass, go outside, and I had a baseball bat, wood, back in the 50s. And then I tried to burn, I was going to put my initials or something. Get the magnifying glass to hold it on the wood for a minute, get it to where it comes to a point. And after 2 or 3 minutes or so, it starts to make a little burn mark, whatever. So take it up a notch, and so he gets a little prism or something, a cube or a round. He got a couple of different things in it. They said, put two of these. He said, I got another one, or they texted it. You got two of them, and then try to get the laser beam to come together, and then it'll be stronger. I'm watching it, and then the guy's burning some wood. I says, you ain't. See, put down and it'll cut through anything. I'm waiting till you get to that 1/4 inch steel. I'm thinking you made a laser welder. I'm watching it because it's all this little shit you got to understand and know, whatever, save money or whatever. And it was burning a little bit. He got it pinpointed, zeroed in, and he got a little thing from a printer that got tired of moving the block of wood back. Is this the right point? Back and forth. And let me put it up closer to see if that works. He said, I got tired of moving the wood over there. There's a part of printer, and it's got a little thing like a round thing with slots in it, little metal. And he put it together, and he hooks it up with some electrical current or something that bounces back and forth. According to where the wood is, it kind of is a sensor or something to see how far it is. He moves the wood back, and the thing moves forward. He moves the wood up close. It goes back like automatic. I said, that's fascinating. I saved it. I don't feel like looking at it right now, but so yeah. And I'm watching. This 10, 15 minutes. He's got some balloons in his room, apartment, office, whatever. He's got about 4 or 5 balloons and another 4 or 5 bigger ones. He starts aiming the laser at the balloon. Pop. Oh, cool. From about 6 feet away. Next one. Pop. All right, pal. We get the point. The next one. And now he's over here like, I say, this guy got some kind of fetish or something. So he pops those 4, and then he goes for the bigger one. He's got the 4 in a row, 5 in a row there. It's like he's going to shoot somebody or something. Pop, pop. I think he got 2 or 3. And then I said, oh, fuck this guy. He's getting weird on me. I don't know, man. I went through the Vietnam era. I didn't go in, but I lost my brother. He was 24, 25, pilot in the Navy. Crashed in Norfolk. Tore up the family, whatnot. So I think I went to college for 2 years and was thinking about this war. That was one crazy motherfucker halfway around the world. My dad said, the communists, whatever, or the elites the ones that start the wars, the elites. War makes money. They for the United States, this is like a chess game. We'd come out of basic peacetime from Korea, 51, 52 to Vietnam around 62. Basically, the 50s was peacetime. America was prosperous. It was law abiding, all that shit nice. They were putting everybody with a wife and kids in a nice little Levittown, cheap, affordable housing, da da da. The cars were great. It was a good life. My dad says, yeah, they start a war for the United States to get the United States involved, and it's halfway across the world. That's going to cost. Never thought about that because that patriotism and all that. They don't want you thinking. They want to tell you that's the control with the elites. The control, the power, keep you as a slave, keep you broke. With the water, they take your water away, restrict the hell out of it. You're desperate. You have to pay anything to, you know. It's cheaper to drink beer or something. I don't know, man. So that's as far as I go. And I just, let go and let God. Let God sees whatever. That's my faith. When you get back to the wall, you don't know what to go, where to go, or what to do. You got to turn it over. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how wonderful I am and all that, but I get down and out. I've been down and out so many times. That's where they keep the faith. So that's the only positive I can offer. I see that in Trump, but Trump is this and that and the other, and watching Marco Rubio in front of Congress, they just lady starts bitching at him, screaming at him, and do what don't be a hypocrite, do what you said or some shit, just screaming at him. And he says she can scream. That's what she was doing. Light skinned mulatto, a little bit aggressive with the latest wig. I guess she hangs out with Maxine Waters. And with the glasses, I mean, I wear glasses because I'm old, but this type, usually fat, obese, not fat. Fat is 5 pounds. You're fat. People will tell you that back in the 50s. Hey, fatso. They tell you right quick. Oh, so you learn not to don't overeat. I don't care no more. Been eating the food tastes good. It's a comfort food or some shit. But when you're over here like this, you can't move and your legs are this. I see some of the truck drivers. They have the right to drive the truck. They got to get a doctor's note. They ain't worth a shit. But today they got automatic trucks. I mean, a fucking monkey could drive it. It's so fucking easy. And they know through school, they know how to hit that GPS and text to the dispatcher, I'm ready to go. And I just got it to shipper. I'll be there in 7 hours, whatever. So they got it too easy, really, because it makes when that's all you're doing, I got to get up and sort of do a little work every day, hour and a half, 2 hours, just to get off my ass. You know, well, sit too long, you're alone too long. I want to clean up the house, fix up the house a little. That's why I'm glad I got finished with that screen and go on to something else. I got about 18 little projects and get my mind straight and start working on that like a cylinder head. I got to pull it off, back it up, lowered it. Got to pull it off. Like yesterday, it's fucking blowing. Fucking dust. I ain't even go outside. You know, so I'll get to it. It's just I don't procrastinate. Try to get that thing running. And then I thought too. I was looking for another car because that's I'm between a rock and a hard place. The If you tell yourself, somebody put a set of points on it. You're old if you know what this is. Yeah, I know what that. This is 1964, 53 Chevy. My girlfriend's uncle had a 52. He showed me how to adjust the points. In fact, I just found this by the front door. It's 25,000, I think, for the Cadillac. I got pretty good. You know, anything you do, you do it. Sometimes you get the hang of it. You get better at it. Mechanics is. If you ever look at the ignition key, the wires, and it's all covered. You take apart the dashboard, something, you get to the wire. It goes to the resistor or regulator, and then the goes to the coil. Caddy, for some reason, burns a coil every like $20 every 6 months. Hard started, and that goes to the get the alternator in there, and the coil. You go to the distributor. From the distributor, there's another wire that goes to the starter, and then the carburetor. I've seen more motherfucker younger, 35, 40 years, the new truckers, as they call them, steering wheel holders. The truck don't want to start. What the fuck you want from me? Once you buy me a coffee, let's go sit down for the next 3 days and figure it out. Oh, they don't want that shit. Says, yeah, let's go look at it because I'm a chump. Let me help you out. The air filter. I started that. I learned that back in the 70s. Guys will tell you, oh, you got a car, let's go check it out. The air filter. A ton of white guys take off the air filter. It's hard to start with. You have a problem, first thing they do. Fucking air filters all the way up fucking filthy. Or where it comes in the air cleaner, there's this spot where the air goes in, it's black, kind of fluffy, black carbon or whatever, just dirt. Well, the air's not going through there. It's got to get gas air and the truck, the same shit. You got those little shorty air filters on a Freightliner just up by the dash. Everything is from the drivers. That gives the control. They're more into control. And sometimes you just got to throw your shit down, walk around the truck, open the hood, hit the ground, crawl under there, whatever, or jump up and open the take the clips off to open and check, physically check your, pull it out. I got one of the tall ones, but put it out, I bang it on the, first of all, I says, when's the last time you changed that air filter? After about 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I had it down to clockwork. About every 3 months, roughly, about every 3 months, you change the oil. Well, you let it go through. Yeah, well, the motor's already got 2 million miles. It's still running. I don't give a fuck. I don't have money. Every 3 months, change the oil and the air filter and the fuel filter. And then the last thing would be the oil filter. That fuel filter, I just went to the TA. I was down south at midnight. I was up north in Virginia. Forget the fucking, at TA up there, just on the 80. Wheelie. I go up there, filled up. No, I wasn't wheeling. It was somewhere. I think I was down south. Anyhow, it's around midnight. I got to run another 2, 3, 4 hours. It starts starting. Yeah, I did. I jumped out and I says, "You got a fuel filter for a 99 Freightliner?" Yeah, yeah, we do. Yeah, how much you get for it? Don't tell me $90. Says, "How about 55?" Says, "You got it here. Put it on there." Just, can I throw the old one out? Can I put it here in the shop and then you throw it? Yeah, no problem. You're one of the guys. I'm talking to the manager. Bada bang, bada bang. Right away, you could tell. Starts up easy. I run on. I swear to God, the stars were in alignment. I get 10 miles down the road, pitch black. As soon as you leave, there's no lights out there. Pitch black. I got my flashlight. The fuel filter goes out. I says, "You should have got a fuel filter." Now, I'm a little low on money, but yeah, I'm very low on money. I'm stuck. I ain't going to call these motherfuckers, send a repair truck out there. It's going to cost me probably 100 and a quarter. I says, fuck that. What I did is I learned first thing, drain. I got a little bucket, stick it on the fucking, drain the fuel filter. As soon as I do it, take my flashlight just a little bit on the bottom of the bucket. It's like sand. There it is. I got the headlights on. I go to the shoulder on the, away from the highway on the passenger side. I take off I get my wrench. I take the fuel filter loose. I drain it into the bucket, everything. And there's about I would say 2 teaspoons, 2 or 3 teaspoons. You get the idea. At the bottom of the bucket, I let go of the fuel filter, the diesel. And it's light green. You can see through it. Look at the bottom of it. You got a bunch of. So what I did, I got a siphon. You got to suck the motherfucker and try not to catch a mouthful of diesel. We've all done that. Pour some more, empty out the bucket, and fill it up with clean diesel fuel. I put a little more in there, sloshed it out the best I could, just shake it up a little bit. Drain it again. This is temporary, but it'll last hopefully till you get done and you get back to another. Yeah, well, it'll do that. It'll probably last 2 to 4 weeks like that, or longer. It's still good once you clean out the fucking dirt. And then I filled it up 90%. There's still a 1 inch gap, so you don't spill it all over yourself. You got to put one hand underneath the frame of the truck and grab the other one. There's no room in there, and try to gently line it up and screw it in. and then tighten it. Don't over tighten. I think these guys have over tightened it for 20 years. You got to feel as exactly, where it's snug, but not over tighten it. That'll cause a problem also. That's why these guys that ask on the Cummins for half the time, truck don't start. What should I do? I don't know, man. Once you sell it to your cousin, in Wyoming, I don't know what to tell you. Go ask your great great grandfather. Fucking, have you never had to do anything? Anyhow, with the points adjusting and all that, I'm trying to figure out how to adjust the valves on the Freightliner on the Cummins. And the same thing, fucking 18 thousandths and 27 thousandths the gap. So you got fucking. Let me go buy a new set of. These are curved, which is makes it very nice when you're handling it. You can just slide it in there. Either way, the straight ones. Sometimes I just use this. Depending on if there's something there or something or whatever, if it fits in straight, whatever. You got to fuck with the shit. You're up on the tie rod and you got one foot on the frame and you're over here like this and you're trying to get everything straight. That's so I say I don't give a fuck no more. That thing had 2 million miles, but like my buddy from Cleveland, man. Oh, my son bought $150,000, I guess, 2-year old truck or something. It's like, wow, he's over there welding it himself and changing axles and every other fucking thing. I says, dude, you could have caught a plane to El Paso. I'll go pick you up. We'll go over to Poncho's, the junkyard, the guy's son. Get you a Detroit. Throw the guy a couple $100 or something and have him put a Detroit or rebuild it, take it over to J.M. and Sons by the petrol truck stop and get the new parts. Next day we could stay at the house in a motel and 3,500 for the parts and 3,500 labor, and have them put it on a pallet and ship it back to Cleveland. That'd probably be about, I'm guessing, about 1,200 or so. So that's 7, 8, 9, $10,000. You hear me? Put it in another 2,000, $12,000. You got a rebuilt Detroit. A month later, you take that $150,000. You take out 20 grand. Put that $130,000 in your fucking pocket. Put it in the bank. Go buy your wife lobster dinner. You know what I'm saying? He's an old hillbilly. Grandpa was a moonshiner. I said, what the fuck? See, every generation changes. I says, hey, John, I said, I don't know what to tell you about. Good luck to you. You drive the new truck. Give him your old truck. Be a dad. Set your foot down. I don't know, man. So I look at all this shit that Rachel mad out with the way they speak. They talk. I liked her in the beginning, but it's just in a one Patty that when it was a press secretary. Don't tell anybody. I'd buy her a couple of drinks and bang her, but yeah, call me daddy. But if you get pregnant, do not call me daddy. Yeah, So they're making millions, and that's in a way. Here's the deal: at some point when you're 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, 11, 12. Some point in your life, you're going to say, I want to do this, do this. I think it's good that with grandpa or dad, my dad kind of pushed me towards business. So that's good. But I think it's an opportunity. If you're like a farm boy or something where you're 8 years old, you're driving a tractor for farming and learn the different the auctions and shit. And then do something productive. Once you learn mechanics, mechanics is mechanics. It's the principle of the thing. Some guys do small engine repair. It's the same gas, spark, and air, and then a little variation to each little thing. But then you get it right, and the thing lasts. I've been using it every day for 2 or 3 years. I haven't had to do nothing on it. Oh, okay. And I just started my basically learn, ask questions. If you don't know something, go to the guy. That's about the internet. Google it or YouTube, and well, that's life. I'm learning this plumbing, electric in the house, and then I also put a price tag with that. How much is it going to cost me? I got to wait because I'm on limited income, and I got to wait. Looking at the tiles with that refrigeration, man, that's like an $8,000. You could put some money down and run a credit to somebody, whatever, make payments, whatever. Learn business, and survival. And be comfortable in the meantime. Pays for itself, but you gotta figure it out. How long is it gonna last? That water heater, 15 years. The guy cuts it out old house, oldhouses.com or some shit. The old guy's fixing up the old houses. I said, I've been doing this 40 years. I cut open the hot water heater. It's all corroded on the inside. But like a river or anything else, if it's corroded and it's hard, run the water a little bit. And then, all that corrosion that's ugly to look at, if it's hard, the water's going to run past that. So it's going to touch it a little bit, but it's not enough to kill you or nothing. He says job security. He says, "Oh, these are good. How long are these good for?" The young guy. After 5 or 6 years, this is what happens. Oh, okay. So now we know. But that's as far as he went because he wants to sell you one. He wants to install it, and hands a $1,500 repair bill. My dad, he was cheap El Cheapo. I got them 20 years. I run the water for a little bit. The cold water is separately connected, then the hot water goes through the tanks. So I make sure if I want to use if I need hot water, I run it for like a minute. It's got to come about 10 feet. Run it for a minute and a half. Get the shit out of there. I drain the bottom plug. Is about a teaspoon of dirt or some shit in there, whatever. Not even, a little teaspoon or something. Hey, I said, I ain't going to worry about that after 20 years. In other words, it wasn't cloudy dust where the rust had clouded up, and if you drink that, you're going to ingest that. See, be careful, see what you can get away with and see what not. I just got the potato sitting on the top of the stove, and I grabbed the one end, been sitting there for about 10 days in the heat when I cook stuff, and it was almost 100 the last couple of days. It's overripe, and I grabbed the one end, it's a little soft. I said, it's all right. I grabbed the other end, man, it's like squishy stuff. I looked at it, I cut off the bad part. I said, it's still good, the back half. So I cut that off and rinsed it off through it. And I got a couple of pieces of potatoes, and I get them all real cheap. So anyhow, everybody, good night. God bless, and try it again tomorrow, man.